hey guys, welcome back. The next video we're doing here is going to be covering warranties in the rubber track industry, and there's kind of a lot of stuff going on. You know, I get phone calls, why is your warranty the way it is? We do the standard, 1 year, 1,000-hour warranty for manufacturer defect. There's guys out there who do 3-year warranties, whatever. And these, people ask, well, why? Your track must not be as good if you can only do 1 year warranty, right? If this guy's over here is doing 3 years, what's...
Yeah.
What's the whole process behind it? Because I think you have plenty of data on all these tracks that you've sold and built and manufactured.
Right.
And why the warranties are the way they are.
Well, over a 30+ year career in just rubber track, I've seen it all. Everything that goes wrong with the track, and I've had out of the thousands of containers that I've sold over the 30 years. I've seen my share of claims, what's warranty, what's not a warranty. And, one of the interesting things is when you go to meet with a client, it always comes up, what's your warranty? My response is, what do you want it to be? I don't really care. If you want 3 years, okay, fine. I'll give you 3 years because I know one thing. The warranty, everybody's warranty is we're warranted against defects in materials and workmanship. So if something is going to go wrong with the track that is attributable to defects in materials and workmanship, that's going to happen in 50 to 100 hours. So I'm not worried about a defect in materials and workmanship 3 years from now. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's going to happen really in the first 6 months, period. Anything outside of that is usually not a defect in materials and workmanship. It's going to be due from external forces, foreign objects, impacting bad undercarriages, bad sprockets. That's what it's going to be. Now, with that said, we do cover like link expulsions. Okay, we cover that for 2 years. We're really the only company that does that, but that's one of those things we do so well. That that's one we do actually put in writing.
Gotcha.
So,
makes sense.
Okay.
What are some examples of things that would be warrantable versus just no way? We're not touching that.
So, when you see a track, let's specifically talk to like a CTL track that has actually split widthwise across the track in a straight line.
Yeah.
There'll be some people that'll be like, no, that you overtension. You'll ask, companies will ask you, I need a picture of the sprocket. Sprocket really has nothing to do with that. No matter how bad the sprocket is, it really doesn't have anything to do with it. What did most likely contribute to that track splitting in a straight line, like you took a razor knife and just went straight through the track, is that link inside of that track was probably not properly bonded, and it was moving inside the track, and as those rollers roll over that link, it's doing a seesaw inside the track, and it's hitting those cables, and finally just splits those cables in half, and the track comes apart. That's a warrantable defect, and no matter at what point in that track's life, if something like that took place, that's going to be a covered item. To things that aren't, when I see a track torn in half, the first thing I'm looking for is how did that track come in half? And if it's really jagged coming across, I'm checking the edge of that track for impact. Most likely what's happened is something has impacted. I've seen tree stumps get wrapped up into the sprocket, comes up over the top of the sprocket, it's too much pressure and it snaps the track in half. Those are easily identifiable situations as job site abuse or accidents.
Okay, makes sense. And we also have guys, we're from up in the Midwest, guys that even Alaska, even Canada, they want to stud their tracks. So what kind of things are, definitely going to void your warranty right out the gate?
Well, the main thing I'm looking at, because I am very familiar with the studs where they screw them into the track. The main thing you're having to make sure of if you are screwing studs into a track is that the depth of that screw does not go below the depth of the tread bar, because you don't want to get into the cables.
Sure.
If you cut a cable, then you've just significantly decreased the structural integrity of that track. As long as you're not getting into that realm, you should be fine.
Okay. And then would there be anything on MTL machines as far as, you know, anything worth covering there with warrantable items on those tracks? Or
You know, it's about the only thing that you see go wrong in an MTL track is the actual guide lugs ripping off the track. That's really the only issues we see in an MTL track, other than its initial fitment. As long, remember, we go back to that 99.8 to 100.3, the average pitch measurement. As long as that's correct and it's fitting the machine properly, other than that, there really aren't many issues other than a delamination, which those guide lugs can delaminate. And a lot of people don't understand. It's very difficult to bond rubber to a fabric, whether it be aramid fiber or just a normal fabric. As long as that's done well, you really don't have many issues out of an MTL track.
Gotcha. Well, there you guys have it, straight from the source. You know, do your due diligence, whether you're buying from us or anybody else. But, you know, warranties aren't always what they seem, and the data strongly supports that. You know, it's going to happen. You know, not, I don't want to say right away, but pretty soon if something really was bad.
Yeah, if it's a defect, it's happening pretty quick.
Yeah. So all right, so there we go. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll be back for the last video in the series shortly.